Celtics starting to miss some free throws.
I'm really capable of doing pretty much everything on the floor, being one of those two-way players that the world I haven't seen yet. And I feel like I'm working towards that ground. I like to compete. That's the one thing with me. It don't matter how good you are, you just gonna feel me. You're gonna feel my presence.
So the Warriors have been having a bit of a rough patch lately, especially when it comes to road games. Those games where the team tends to fall apart in the fourth quarter have just been too difficult to watch. But if you've managed to sit through these games, you'd have been able to notice one thing in particular. Something incredible is brewing in Golden State. Hey, what's happening everyone? This is Swish. If you've been watching my channel and enjoyed the content, be sure to like the video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of my latest uploads. I recently set a goal for this channel to hit 30,000 subs by the end of the season, and you guys have been phenomenal. I sincerely appreciate that. Let's keep it going. As the Warriors break their 11 road game losing streak, one of the most important things to notice aside from the streak being broken is that the Warriors needed to win that game. With the game tied up in the third quarter, a loss was looking inevitable. A loss would have also put the Warriors deeper into play-in territory. If the Dallas Mavericks had won against the Grizzlies as well, that's another nail in the play-in coffin. But, as luck were to have it, the Warriors pulled out the win and the Mavericks ended up losing. This puts the Mavs at 500 and the Warriors slightly above and slipping into that 6th spot, the last safe spot in the West. The Warriors live to fight another day. While the Splash Brothers looked great and the Dubs finished the game 121-108, there was something extra special oozing from the front court. This team isn't one that typically performs with a lot of athleticism or above the rim plays, but the absolutely incredible performance of this young kid in the Dubs jersey has made every game worth watching, win or lose. Today's video will discuss just how he's been impacting the Warriors as of late and what this means for the Golden State Warriors and making the playoffs. So without further delay, let's get to it. Jonathan Kuminga has been on an absolute rampage. Despite the many road losses I've highlighted before, Jonathan Kuminga has shown tremendous growth with the team in just his second year. Now I want to show you guys some numbers that will make your head spin, but before I do that, I just wanted to remind you that it was only a few weeks ago that a number of fans were calling for Jonathan Kuminga to be traded along with the rest of the young players. Let me be the first to say, their hearts were in the right place, but their heads weren't. And don't ask me where they were. The Warriors have played 15 games since the All-Star break, whereas OG Anunoby, a 25-year-old forward that plays for the Toronto Raptors and highly sought after around the league, mind you, averaged 15 points, 3 rebounds, and 1.6 steals in 31 minutes, Jonathan Kuminga has been averaging 14 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 steal per game in, get this, 23 minutes. Now I may not be a math whiz, but wait, actually I am. A simple extrapolation shows Jonathan Kuminga averaging 19 points, just under 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and almost as many steals, if given the same amount of playing time. 19, 6, 3, and 1 with elite switching defense. Does this remind you of someone that might be missing from the team right now? But let's go further. Kuminga is doing this while hitting 43% of his shots from 3. That's better than anyone on Golden State not named Stephen Curry over the season. This is borderline ridiculous. I figured JK would be an equivalent player to Anunoby maybe by the end of next year. He's already better than OG. No disrespect, but the Raptors are a middle-of-the-road, borderline lottery team in a semi-rebuild. They do not have the caliber of players Golden State has in Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to provide the offensive lead. This means that OG should be putting up even better numbers than Kuminga just based on that statistic, but he isn't. Hypothetically speaking, you put Kuminga on the Raptors and it's a wrap. Did I mention Kuminga is 5 years younger than OG? The kid is only 20 years old. Okay, so his box scores look great. What else can you tell us, Swish? This goes without saying. Kuminga has been an absolute beast defensively. Steve Kerr routinely puts Kuminga on the opposing team's best offensive player or whomever has the hot hand 1 through 5. It doesn't matter. These are the toughest assignments only given to a player that has the coach's absolute confidence. That means Jalen Green, Jaren Jackson, John Collins, Kawhi Leonard. The list goes on. To top it all off, Kuminga seamlessly fits into the Warriors offense like the missing piece the team has needed. While it's taking Steve Kerr some time to get to it, Jonathan Kuminga most certainly needs to be in the starting lineup, especially in light of Andrew Wiggins' absence. What we've noticed is that Kerr prefers to run a 3-guard lineup that includes Donte DiVincenzo the last few games instead of Jordan Poole. I know the team just won, but that's in spite of the 3-guard lineup and not because of it. I love Donte and think he's been an excellent pickup for the Warriors this year. I do not, however, think he needs to be in the starting lineup over Jonathan Kuminga. It makes absolutely no sense to do it at this point with the kind of production that Kuminga has been giving the Warriors. He's much better off running the second unit with Jordan Poole and JaMychal Green. Kerr seems to have his own restrictions when it comes to moving away from guards/veteran players/players that live and die by the 3, and it seems to have an adverse effect on the psyche of some of these younger guys. That makes things all the more confusing with JK hitting these shots from deep and elevating the team, giving them chances to win where the Dubs would be dead in the water. But back to Kuminga seamlessly fitting in the lineup. I mentioned before that he's shown some similarities to LeBron in his playstyle and ability to read the game. Kuminga currently has a very low usage rate, but plays so well within the team offense you'd mistake him for a 10-year veteran role player. On almost every single possession, you can count on Kuminga to make the right plays, whether it's making that extra pass, attacking the rim, or getting into a spot to take the shot. When the Warriors faced off against the Grizzlies was one very good example of Kuminga getting in rhythm and knocking down multiple threes, 4 of them to be exact, to keep the Warriors afloat and fighting. The Grizzlies were forced to guard him closely and begin closing out because he was out there knocking them down like practice shots. He's hitting the threes, we've seen his mid-range game, he's making cuts off the ball, he's catching Draymond Green's bad passes, he's getting to the basket, he's getting to the free throw line, he's knocking down his free throws, he's locking up his man on the other end, he's athletic, he plays above the rim. This man is a whole package at just 20 years old on a team that's looking to win its 5th championship in 9 years. The only thing he doesn't have is a step back 3, and at this rate of growth, I wouldn't put my money against him. If Kuminga maintains this level of play, the only thing keeping him out of the All-Star game next year is Steve Kerr. At this point, Jonathan Kuminga needs to get all the minutes you can throw at him. Every single one. The lack of playing time already robbed Kuminga of a shout out in the Rising Stars game. But you know what? I'm okay with that if the Warriors do right by him next year. Wiggins is out indefinitely. This is the opportunity that Steve Kerr should be providing to Kuminga instead of giving it to Donte DiVincenzo. Donte is as good as gone after this season and Kuminga is up next. If the idea is that we want to put our best foot forward and win now and worry about everything else later, well, you're doing better with Kuminga out there, aren't you? Running 3 guards means you've got less capability at the forward spot, but that's a bit of a disservice to JK. Clearly, Steve Kerr still doesn't trust JK out there on the floor, which means JK's development isn't because of Steve Kerr, it's in spite of Steve Kerr's in-game coaching. He's done enough to overlook a couple mistakes here and there. Let the kid go out there on the big stage and sink or swim. This rapid rise of Kuminga is only beginning and it won't be long before we're saying that this team belongs to him. If you're asking for my honest opinion, he's already surpassed Jordan Poole as the 6th man on this team and he's rapidly approaching the rest of the roster. It will be impossible for Kerr to keep him out of the starting lineup next season and a very difficult decision will have to be made if Wiggins does decide to return. Nothing against Wiggins, but a $109 million player needs to be on the floor playing for the team. If he's unavailable, let the next man up get his opportunity. Whichever way you look at it, if we don't see Kuminga in the starting lineup permanently starting next year, that would be a clear suicide. Don't quote me on this, but Kuminga's development, while great, probably has one man worried. That man is Draymond Green. Needless to say, Green has a lot riding on this year's Warriors winning the championship. A lot. Let me know what you guys think of the Warriors roster going forward. Is Wiggins out? Is Draymond out? Either way, someone's got to make room for JK. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll try to respond to as many of them as I can. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Swish.